And so we're over here on this beautiful little sand cay in the middle of Moreton Bay, and I've got the boys with me today, and we're going to head out to this reef in the middle of the ocean and have a bit of a fish and see what we can come up with. It's been so far pretty bumpy. The wind is about 11 kilometres at the moment, so it is a little bit uncomfortable out on the water, but it's going to drop down to about 4 kilometres an hour, which will give us a bit of a, I don't know, hoping it's going to glass out. And I've got Corey over here. What do you reckon, bro? You going to catch the fish today? Oh, he's sharpening up the knife.
Yeah, we're seeing it.
Getting ready to fillet some fish. And I've got the big boy Benny over here. So come and join us today on this awesome cracker of a day for a beautiful adventure. What do you say, Benny?
I'm so excited. It's beautiful, man.
Woo!
Beautiful.
We're all excited. Check in soon. This was probably one of the roughest bar crossings I've ever done. The waves were breaking over the top of the ski, and honestly, I was worried about losing Ben off the back or flipping the ski. Corey was just smashing it, and he was on his own, so it was easy for him to jump the waves. But for me, it felt like every wave could have gone wrong. We probably made it look easy on camera, but it was far from it. And when I finally made it past the bar and the water flattened out, I was so relieved. And I turned around and checked to make sure Ben was still there, and he was just smiling ear to ear. So happy days, and we got out of it alive. So we're currently about 1.5 kilometres off the shore of the tip of North Straddie Island, so we are quite remote. We just crossed that huge bar back there, but the water out here is just insane. And we're heading to those mountains in the, not mountains, the rocky reef there, headland out in the distance there. And we've just had a bit of a warm-up fish, and now I'm taking the boys to the real fishing area.
Yeah, where the real fish are.
The real fish are. Arr. So we're just sitting here having a bit of a fish, and oh, this whale just pops up behind us about literally 5 meters away. Had a big gulp of air and then went back down again. It was so scary. It was so cool, but good job. Super cool. So we just found a turtle, and you know what, for the first time I just said screw it, I'm going to jump in and swim with the turtle, and it was insane. The little guy was covered in barnacles, so I don't think it could swim really fast. Danny's going to jump in, have a swim. He's over there now. Put your flippers on and... I'll take you over. Found a big dog, big boy turtle.